everyone, welcome to the video. And today we are going to learn how we can deploy applications on Vercel, Netlify, and Firebase. I encounter with some issues when I try to deploy my React application on this platform. Then I think why not to create a tutorial on that, and if people get some value from it, so definitely it's better to create some video tutorial on it. We are going to use everything from our terminal. We are not going to open any website or any external third party tool to deploy our applications. We will do all from your terminal. For that you need account on everything, for Vercel, for Netlify, and definitely Firebase. You have account. One more thing to add, in React application we are not going to deploy, we are not going to create any React website. We will use the template which we create using Wit. Wit is a tool that I created a tutorial on that. Just reduce the size of bundle, create a really quick development server, and which are really friendly and good content tool from my own experience. So just start and just we'll create a first template with using Wit, and then we'll start deploying our application. So the first thing that we have to do is npm. Just follow along the me way. If you don't know what is Wait and what is the other commands, we will see them one by one. So first npm create Wait at latest. I'm using my current directory because I have a empty folder here, React deploy. If you don't have the empty folder, just create a empty one, and then you can mention your particular React name here. But I'm using my current directory, current folder, so that's why I use dot and slash. After that, just just make sure you're writing a right command, because it will create some issues if you don't write. So yeah, it will create a React application for us using, yeah. Let's see like how it quick is. Like if you create application, if you work before with React, there is a command you have to enter npx create React app and I have project name. So it takes almost 3 to 5 minutes depending on your internet connection and which type of laptop or machine you are using, but it takes longer than it created. So within a second that it creates all the file folders. Right now we have to install the dependency that we have in package.json, React router, and others. So the npm install, and it will install all the dependencies and all the file packages that we mention here. Then we will start our development server by this command npm run dev. One more thing, if you don't have account on the uh, Vercel, I highly suggest go to vercel.com and just sign in simply and create account on that. It is pretty simple, you don't need to do anything. Okay, so yeah, like we created, and right now we install the dependencies. Then we are starting npm run dev or development server. Let's see how it started on 5173. Localhost 5173. So here is the applications. Here is the template which we created with the width, the knights counter, moving animation in the React emoji, and we are not going to make any changes into it. Just we will keep it simple and keep it straightforward. The aim of the video is to learn how to deploy your application to the Vercel, Netlify, and Firebase. But if you build some application with React, so don't worry, the process is same. You don't need to add any configurations or any other stuff. The process will be the same. So start with the first thing, that we are going to deploy this application on Vercel. We'll deploy first on Vercel, then we will deploy on Netlify, and then Firebase. So to deploy this on the Vercel, the first thing that we have to install npm install this flag. You can take it as a -g, the minus sign and g, which means it stands for global. which means which installed it globally, the Vercel CLI. Once you did this command, you don't need to install again and again. Next you try to deploy a project which is Vercel, and just hit enter. Vercel, so you have to install globally. You have to hit this command npm install manage Vercel. It's installing the Vercel CLI for us. Then we are able to log in and see all our projects through the terminal. Right now, just log into the Vercel login. Then I'm trying from I already logged in, so I'm trying to continue with my GitHub. If you want to continue with Bitbucket or email, or you can choose that. So it sends the request to the Vercel account through the browser, and yeah, like you can see, I'm login successful. And once you did that, so just you have to do the Vercel deploy. Set up and deploy. Yes. Which scope do you want to Devgan projects? This is my Devgan project. You can take it as when you create account on Vercel, they will ask you for any team or any your own account that you want to create. So it's just the Devgan's project that I mentioned. Nothing tricky. Link to existing project. No. What is your project name? React deploy as. In which directory is your code located? Current directory. Okay, it's uploading all files. Want to modify these settings? No. uh, let's see. It started deploying our applications, started building. Now if you able to see here, it started building. Let's make it big, and it will take some time to just deploying all our applications on Vercel. We'll send out of files from source folder, static images, data, media, all those stuff. It takes time. Okay, the production deploy right now. React deploy. Here is the link. Let's see. Duplicate and just see it's deployed on Vercel successfully. So here is the link of the project that we deployed on the Vercel. Just see how quick and how easy it is to deploy on application on Vercel. You just need to install it globally. Then you have to go to login, Vercel login, and just Vercel deploy. Uh, it's a deployed. Well, it's deployed on the Vercel. If you are able to see, this is the link, Vercel.app at the end, and this is a local host running our app locally, the local development environment, and this is the production environment. So this is how you can deploy application on Vercel. And right now we are going to deploy our application on the Netlify. To deploy on Netlify, we have to delete this Vercel account, Vercel folder, and yeah, we are ready to go. So this is the deployed application on Vercel. If you want to check it out, I will put this link into the description. Okay. Next, again, if you don't have account on Netlify, so you have to go and just create account on Netlify. So this is the application that's running locally. So now we are going to deploy this application on Netlify. So to deploy Netlify, for first thing you have to install it as we install Vercel globally. Just pm install -g Netlify. And one thing to remember, last time we just added a Vercel here, but this time we have to add Netlify and CLI. It's for installing the global installation of the Netlify CLI. So right now it's installing, and after that we will do the next command that will need to after that we will do one thing. We will build our folder with the command npm run build, because we need a production folder, a optimized folder for project deployment to Netlify, because Netlify asks to just ask for that folder location. We will see into next when we run some commands. It's giving some warning, npm warning decrypted source map URL. You can ignore those commands. Versioning errors or for that warning, we don't need to worry about that. Let's wait for some time. Right now we stop the development server, that's why stop. Okay. Okay, we are done with the installation Netlify CLI globally. So the next thing that we have to do is npm run build, because we need a final optimized folder which which consists of HTML file 404 file and some static media like images, videos that we have in our React application. So let's see, and it will create a dist folder here. So yeah, this is the folder that we are looking for: assets and index.html, with.svg. So we need this folder for our next section. Just clear this and uh, Netlify. The next command, we need to initialize Netlify. So we will do this with the Netlify init. So after initializing, it will ask some questions to us like uh, for which you want to deploy. Yes, create and deploy site manually. Now I will connect my director with GitHub first. We are not connecting GitHub here, so we will choose yes manually. Do you want to deploy site manually? Yes. Site name loop blank. Okay. Team demo. Uh, Link to project admin URL. It's not deployed yet. Just go to that link. Okay, we initialize our project with the Netlify init, and right now we are deploying it. It's saying that to deploy this site, run your site to site build and then modify Netlify deploy. So we are deploying on the Netlify. We'll added Netlify deploy. Let's see. Let's make it big. Uh, that's why I created a dist folder here with the npm run build, because it's the public directory should be optimized and final production folder. So deploy path, configuring its current directory, react deploy config file, no file that we config context. If everything looks good, so right now we are going to or draft URL, because as I mentioned, Netlify deploy will give you the preview of our web application, how it's going to look like, everything, and then npm run there. It will create a development server. Once it's created, okay, it's created a development server, and right now d workspace. Okay, deploy Netlify deploy. If everything looks good, where is the link of the URL? Uploading blobs to the store, and do one thing. Is directory we are doing a small mistake, because after adding a dist we are adding a space. So don't add space after writing dist and space, just write dist. So this is a small mistake that we're doing. So these small mistakes are triggering a lot of issues or creating a lot of issues. Really don't need our attention to solve, but yeah, sometimes you have to just keep in mind. uh, okay, so our application is deployed now into the production. So we are going to just website URL. So this is our final URL that we are going to use. Just copy and just go and just paste on your browser, and our final application is here. So this is the, what we say, the local environment website, which is running in a local environment, and this is the production environment that we deployed on the Netlify. So this is how you can deploy application on Netlify and Vercel. Two things. Netlify needs some one or two commands more, but it's pretty simple. By the way, we counter with some two or three issues just like this and that space, and uh, we have to build our dist folder again and with the npm run build. So it's okay, it's nothing to worry about that. So yeah, this is how we can deploy to that. Right now, we are moving to the Firebase. Firebase is a complete, some not a difficult one, but it takes more process to deploy on Firebase. So the first thing uh, we will do npm run build, because our development server is not running right now. We'll run, okay, running successfully. Yeah, count 1 2 3 4 5 5 1 7 3. Okay, npm run build. We don't need build command, we need development command. npm run there. Right now it's working. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. uh so now go to Firebase. Once you go to Firebase, definitely you need account. Get started, add project, enter nickname, be is deploy act. Okay, all, you have to enter a name there. Then Google Analytics. No, I don't need Google Analytics, because if you are building an application with a Google Firebase, then you can select this option, you can enable this option. But right now we are just a purpose to deploy on Firebase, so I'm not going to any enabling or Google Analytics. I don't need. Just create a project. Firebase project is ready. Continue. Select this web, because our project is web application, not Android. So what is the nickname? Same with this React app. We'll set up later. So writing a nickname, it will give npm install Firebase. Okay, we have to stop our development server. As enter this npm install Firebase. We have to install the Firebase first. The project, it will create some Firebase configurations. Then we have to just copy this code from here, which is a Firebase SDK production would like to use. Yes, let's wait for a second. After that, we have to create some, to add file here, the Firebase. Yes. So okay, what next? Go to console, and let's see, our app is successfully connected, because it's showing this is app is connected, test React app. That means we are connected successfully. So Firebase.js is also configure. Right now, the next thing that we need is to npm run build to build our production folder. This okay, so it created. Uh, right now, go to build, and here is an option called hosting, which we're going to use. Get started. Uh, this is a command that you have to run. Same with just like npm install manager we did for Netlify, for Vercel. Same to do that. Add clear here. Add to install Firebase tools, which will globally install all the Firebase tools and all the all the required configuration that we need. It will create some file or folder here as well, Firebase tools. So we will do initializing after that, and then finally deployment. It takes some time, so it's okay. It's finally done. What next? Firebase login. If you don't have account, definitely you have to create a thing. Then you have to init Firebase login. I think it will take automatically if you already logged in from the browser. It will just checking that everything is fine. The browser side. Just wait for it will automatically give us a email that you logged in with the Firebase. I'm using a dummy email to just my Vercel and Netlify account that we already previously see. Okay, we are logged in. Yes, finally a Firebase in it. This command is initializing our Firebase. Just to are you ready to proceed? Yes. Here are some questions that you have to select. We need hosting. There are different real-time database configure security files, Firebase store functions, hosting, and optionally the GitHub action deploys. We don't need GitHub action deploys. It's an optional thing. Hosting setup a GitHub action deploys, no. So we need hosting. So you have to you have to select through the space button of your keyboard. Don't use any intersection because see like here is a blank right now. If you enter space, so space will select this and then hit the enter key. Use existing project. Yes. So please select an option. It will give the complete list that you have on the Firebase. I have 6 projects available, and recently that we created testing deploy testing project. Okay, your public directory is the folder relative to not a public folder. That's why I did the npm run build, because we are not going to add any public folder a bit, because Firebase you need production folder which is dist, so you have to run npm run build. If you don't have, follow this tutorial, you already have the dist folder. So this is the dist folder. Configure, no, all URLs are good. Build and deploy, we are not adding any GitHub CI/CD pipelines for automatic deployment, but if you have any project which require this, you can say yes. Right now I'm not saying yes because we don't need this exist override, no. And finally our project is added, and some Firebase configuration which also added here. If you see the all the projects just like Firebase JSON and modules are ignored, and project default testing project, this will be added to our URL. Then firebase.app maybe something like Firebase have default format to deploy the URL of the deployment to the web application, so it will add just Firebase app and something. One more thing to add, I just created Firebase JS here, but if you are doing some resume project or for building an application. So just try to make sure that you have. I will delete this project after the tutorial, but if you are doing some project, so just make sure your API key is completely secure. So you can create env environment here and just keep it there. So that's the one thing to add. Source folder. And what is the next step? The next step will be Firebase init done. Then Firebase deploy. This is Firebase clear. Copy Firebase deploy. And finally your application will be deploy soon. Deploying or testing. Okay, it's done. Continue course. Finally, actually, after deploying an application on Firebase, it takes some few seconds to make it public. So that's why when we just do the Firebase deploy and just click on that link, so that's why it's not able to publicly available. But once it takes 5 or few seconds, it will load all the assets that we have, and once you loaded, your application is ready. So this is a live preview of the Firebase application that we deployed. So yeah, these are the ways you can deploy your Netlify, Vercel, and Firebase your React application to these platforms. We see the one by one, and if you face some issues while deploying, so let me know. And yeah, see you in the next video.